Hello Pixies, and welcome to or back to my channel. It's Zoe here, and today I have for you a little summer TBR on the first official day of summer. I have 4 categories for the TBR. I have mythology, fairy tale and folklore inspired, books with a mystery element, and miscellaneous. And are these categories perfect? No, they're not perfect. Not by a long shot. But they're the best. They're the best that I can do, so we're just gonna roll with it. I'm going to be rereading Percy Jackson and the Olympians. This is specifically the 4th one. It's my favorite, I think. And if you've watched my Books to Get to Know Me video, you already know that. And if you haven't seen it yet, you might want to go check that out. But even though this is gonna be a little repetitive, Percy Jackson and the Olympians is my favorite series ever of all time. I absolutely love it, and I like to reread them every single summer. And that might seem a little bit excessive, but these books, one, are really short. Like, this is one of the longer ones, and it's pretty short. And also reading them just feels like going home. So I'm going to reread them this summer, obviously. And this summer, since it's my first year and first summer on BookTube, I'm going to be doing a little reading vlog with all these books I'm about to mention, like in this category. But the first reading vlog should be up rather soon, because I think I'm going to start rereading this within the next week or so. It's Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and it's going to be a really great time. And then obviously, to follow Percy Jackson and the Olympians, we have the Heroes of Olympus, and here I have the House of Hades, which again is one of my favorites. Well, I really love this one and Son of Neptune, but Percy and Annabeth are together in this one, so it just feels right. You know what I mean. The House of Hades, the Heroes of Olympus series. It's not my absolute favorite series of all time, not like Percy Jackson. I wouldn't even put it really in my top 10 series of all time. It's why it wasn't in my Books to Get to Know Me video, but I still really do love it, and I am going to be rereading these. I think they're fun. The last one drives me a bit insane, but we're just gonna go ahead and do it. And so we got Heroes of Olympus, which will be a separate reading vlog. And then next up we have the Trials of Apollo, and I have the first book here, which is The Hidden Oracle. And Trials of Apollo is where things get a little different, because I have read The Hidden Oracle and I have read The Dark Prophecy, but I haven't read the 3rd, 4th, and 5th book of this series. And if you ask why I haven't done it, it isn't because of any sort of dislike or anything. It's actually rather the opposite. I really liked these when they were coming out. I thought they were really fun, and I really liked the God becomes mortal kind of aspect. But these books were coming out at the time, and I just kind of fell behind on their releases. So I haven't read the 3rd, 4th, or 5th one. And so in the reading vlog I will be doing for this series, you'll get to actually see some first impressions, which is honestly pretty impressive because, again, I love the Percy Jackson universe. So I will be finishing Trials of Apollo. Last but not least for the category is a book I haven't read yet, but a lot of people love. And that is The Sun and the Star, which is based around Nico D'Angelo, who is my favorite character, and Will Solstice. And I haven't read this one yet because I haven't finished Trials of Apollo. So I've been really wanting to read it, but I haven't finished Trials of Apollo. So now we're gonna finally get to it. I don't know if I will be doing a reading vlog for this one because this is a singular book. And it feels weird to just stick it with one of the other, I don't really want to put it in the Trials of Apollo reading vlog, because it's not really the same sort of thing. So we'll see if I do a reading vlog of this. If you want to see me read this, and maybe there's a couple other random books, let me know. But I will be reading this as well. And that concludes the mythology category. This is a book I really want to read, and this might be my next read. And this is A River Enchanted, which is about Jack, who has moved away from, I believe, his home island to a different place and has learned to become a bard. And in this universe, bards have the ability to commune with spirits because of their musical power or something along those lines. I'm not 100% exactly sure on how everything works in here because obviously I haven't read it yet, and it's been a while since I've read the back cover. I read like the kind of pitch for this book, but I think it sounds really beautiful. And there's all these girls that have been going missing, so Jack is summoned back home to talk to the spirits of the island, and like it's kind of dark, kind of twisted, I think. And a lot of people love this one. I haven't read, what's it called? Divine Rivals. I haven't read that yet. I've read 2 other Rebecca Ross books, but I haven't read that yet, but I want to read the series, well, this duology, before I get to those. So this is on my summer TBR, and so is A Fire Endless, but we'll see if I get to that this summer as well, or if that's a fall book. Next up on the list is Like's Edge, and this is about a young woman who is taking care of her younger brother who possesses forbidden dark magic, which obviously it's already got its talons in me. And then someone else finds out, the main guy character, and she's very scared that he finds out that her brother has this forbidden magic. But instead of doing anything with this information, he says if they come live on his like lake house estate kind of deal and let him use her younger brother's powers, then he won't tell anybody. And this sounds great. But when they get to the estate that she realizes that he's being used by this lake demon, and he is slowly becoming corrupted, and he wants her younger brother to break his curse. So they're trying to figure out how to break this curse, and there's like a mysterious element, and there's demons and there's magic, and it's got like a gothic, summery, lakey vibe. And I've been wanting to read this since last summer, but since it's like set on a lake, for some reason it's really giving me summer gothic vibes, not really fall gothic. And I just never got around to it last summer, but I really want to get to it this summer. So that is Like's Edge. And next we have Ghostwood's Song, which is about a person, I believe, whose name is Shady Groves, and she possesses the same ability that her father did, which is to play the fiddle and be able to commune with the dead. And then these girls go missing in the woods, presumed dead, and her brother is being accused as being the one who did this to them. So she must figure out what is happening to them instead, because she knows that her brother isn't doing this. I know that's a very vague description, but I don't know a lot going into this, but it's a book I've been wanting to read for a long time. And I don't know, it's kind of giving warm, like spooky vibes, and I think it'll be a great read for the summer, and I should really stop saying that. And then last in this category is a middle grade, and that is Hedge Witch. And this is about a young girl who decides to leave her boring boarding school, but a lot of kids have been going missing in the forest, and she learns of her powers as a witch, and also about the land of fairy, which I'm guessing is kind of where it's leaning into, that these kids are in the fairy realm and not in the human realm, and that's why they're missing. That's just a guess though. So first off is a book that I was gonna put in the other category because does it have a mystery element? Yes, but also has a fairy tale element. And this is The Kingdom. And this is a sci-fi book about this fantasy theme park where they have the 7, are they called the 7 fantasies? Yeah, they have the 7 fantasies, which are beautiful princesses that rule each realm. And, but one day and the princesses, they're like androids. They're not like human actors. Like, they're not human at all. They're androids. I'm guessing this is one on the cover. And they're programmed to be a certain way. But one of them, like, starts to grow feelings for a human being that has come to, like, see her. And then he goes missing. And she is the one accused because she's doing things outside of her programming. And I think this sounds really interesting. This book also plays with times. There are bits with her and him in them, and then there's bits during the actual trial, and then bits after the trial, and I think it really plays with time. And there's also like an interview element, and like, you know, like fun things like this, like page like shows like an app, and I think it's doing some really fun things, and I want to see like how it all works together because I am a writer and I haven't read anything that has like such a strong mix of things before, and also the playing in time element. So I really want to see how this goes. And like, so next up on the list is a book that's actually a reread, but I haven't finished the series yet, and I'm hoping to read the entire series this summer. And that is 6 Crimson Cranes. And yes, I have these beautiful UK editions. Like, these are some of the prettiest books that like I own. Like, they are absolutely gorgeous. And this is a fairy tale, like German retelling, but set in an Asian mythology inspired world. And I think that's really clever. And I absolutely love this book. It's about a girl and her brothers are cursed to become 6 swans. And she is cursed so that she cannot speak. And if she speaks, one of her brothers will. And there's also like a dragon element. And that's where like the story was going, like when I left off. I haven't read the second book in this duology, and also a prequel has come out, which is about the one who cursed her, and it's called Her Radiant Curse. And I've been really wanting to read those, and I finally got my hands on them. All right. So the next book on this list is The House with the Chicken Legs, which is a middle grade that I've heard is quite sad, but I've been really wanting to get into it. And it is about a young girl who lives with her grandmother, who is a Yaga, and a Yaga is a person that deals with the dead in some sort of way, and they travel around the world in this Baba Yaga inspired chicken leg house. But the young girl is very lonely, and she doesn't go to school, she doesn't have friends, people are scared because her grandmother is a Yaga, and she's also in training to be a Yaga. That's a whole other element. And then one day when she's trying to fix all this, something goes wrong, and now she has to go rescue her grandmother in the afterlife. Next, I have 2 books which are Little Mermaid retellings. The first one I'm not going to say too much about because I don't want to get anything wrong, but this is Skin of the Sea, which is inspired by African mythology, and it's about a girl. I don't want to mispronounce her name, so I'm not going to say it, but it's about a girl. And she prayed to the gods when she was human. For some reason, now she is a mermaid. And she takes the souls of people drowned at sea. But one day, instead of letting a person drown, she saves them instead. This is like our equivalent, Eric. And then she has to go on this whole other journey, but the boy she saved, like, knows more than he probably should. So I think it sounds really interesting. This cover is an Owl Crate edition. It is absolutely beautiful. And it's got gold edges. Like, look at that. And yeah, like, what could be more summery than a mermaid-y book? And last up for the category is my other Little Mermaid retelling, which is Mermaid Moon, which I will be reading most definitely in July. And this is about, I think her name is Susanna. It's about a girl, and she is a mermaid, but her mother was not of the sea, but of the land. But her mother was cursed to forget about her existence, and now she wants to go search for her, so she becomes an apprentice of a witch and learns how to give herself legs, but now must travel the 37 dark isles in search of her mother. And this sounds like such a fairy tale vibe, and I love a good fairy tale vibe. And a long book. I love fairy tales in general, but I really want to get into this book in particular. It sounds really sweet. I am going to be buddy reading this with my mom, so we're gonna basically have a little book club about it. I'm excited to see like how different these 2 Little Mermaid retellings are from each other. I'm excited to see what it does differently from the first tale, and like I want to see how they're similar. I want to see how they're different. I think reading both of them will be really fun. And the first book on this list is a book I honestly barely know anything about, which is Record of a Spaceborne Few. This is the 3rd book in the Wayfarers series, or quartet. I think there's only 4. There's only 4, right? I read the first 2. I really liked The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. And I liked A Closed Uncommon Orbit, but not nearly as much as the first one. But I am excited to give this one a try. I don't really know the premise of this one. I read the back of it. I still don't get it. I don't know if there's any like common links between characters or like place in this one, but does that really matter? I don't think so. But these are cozy sci-fi books. Next up, I have another series, but I won't read the whole series this summer because I only have the first 3. And these are The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland. I have to hold it like this because otherwise you won't be able to see it. Now, I don't know much about this book other than it's about a girl named September, a boy named Saturday, and a dragon who likes to read. And they are in Fairyland and they have to... And I think some things in Fairyland aren't quite as great as they once seemed. I don't know if that's completely right, but these are like pretty short middle grade books with like... They sound really fantastical and fun. And you know what? I just need that in my life. I need that kind of vibe. Next up, we have another mermaid-y, but this time with a piratey twist book, which is Daughter of the Pirate King, which I think was originally a duology, but they recently either released or announced that there's going to be a 3rd book, and the 2nd book is Daughter of the Siren Queen, which I also have. And I don't know much about this. To be honest, I don't know much about the plot, but I kind of want to go in blind. I know a lot of people love this series, but I kind of want to go in blind and just see what I think, because I haven't heard anyone actually talk about this or like say what it's about other than the fact that they like it. So yeah, I know it has a mermaid-y twist because the 2nd one is Daughter of the Siren Queen, and I think they're the same thing. I think they're the same person, but I honestly don't know. And the next book is Furyborn, which takes place over 1,000 years. So there's one character we follow that's 1,000 years in the past, and the other one that we follow that's 1,000 years later. And there's 2 queens that are supposed to be reborn, a queen of the sun. Yeah, the Sun Queen, which the one that's 1,000 years in the past has to prove that she is, or else she will be killed. And there's also a Blood Queen. And the one that is in 1,000 years after the events of the first one, this story has kind of been lost. And I want to see how they tie together. I want to see how the time plays out. I want to see if they ever interact because of some immortality thing. This is YA fantasy. I'm expecting it to be written like YA fantasy. I'm quite looking forward to reading it. I just want to see like what it's all about. Like, I haven't really seen anyone talk about these. I think it's a duology. 2nd one, I think, is Kingsbane. Right there. Oh wait, it says, don't miss the next book in this stunning trilogy. So I guess it's 3 books. Oh, it has Kendar Blake on it, who wrote 3 Dark Crowns. I liked that series. It wasn't a favorite, but I did really enjoy it. I thought it was really fun. So yeah, Furyborn, the Imperial Trilogy, book 1. I can read the full text on things. I know that was, again, a pretty vague description, but you know, I'm telling you about these books because I want to read them, not necessarily because I know everything about them. The last book on this TBR, I feel like we got through this rather quick, is The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea, which is about a pirate who, masquerading as a transport vessel, picks up a princess who is on the way to be with her betrothed that she does not want to be with. The pirates are there to kidnap her like part of the way through the journey so they can get a bounty, but I'm pretty sure they fall in love. And like, who doesn't want that? It's mermaidy, it's piratey, it's magical, it's at sea. The perfect book for summer. Like, perfect summery book. And with that, that concludes the summer TBR. I hope you liked this video. If you do, please comment down below. Please thumb it up. Is that what they say? Give it a thumbs up? I don't know. And help me work on what to sign off with. But that's it for now. So I guess I'll catch you in the next one.